Hi, and welcome to Building a Simple HTML Website. My name is Scott Bartow, and this class is offered to you by the Clifton Park Half Moon Library. And this class is for beginners, people that haven't really used HTML at all. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, and it is basically the foundation of every web page out there on the internet. So now HTML is not a programming language; it is a markup language. So you can't use complicated things like conditionals or loops or object orientation. None of that is used in HTML. But basically what you can do is you can create a static foundational HTML page. So what we'll be covering today is only the topic of HTML. So we won't be using CSS, which stands for Cascading Style Sheets, and that is used to make a website look pretty. It's what makes a website cosmetically pleasing to the user. And we won't be using JavaScript, which is what makes a website, a web page, interactive and functional. And so we'll just be working on creating the foundation of a web page. So first, our editor that we're going to be using is something that comes on every Windows machine, which is Notepad. And Notepad++ is something I've downloaded and I'll be using. It just has a little more functionality for a text editor when designing web pages. Other people use various other IDEs. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. Basically, it's just a tool. If you look at Notepad++, you can see there's a whole bunch of tabs and things we can do to make it easier to develop web pages. And a lot of the tools I'm referring to currently I use at work. I use Aptana, and other people use various other text editor design tools that you can download. Most of them are for free. They're open source, so they're open to the public. And so in HTML, using Notepad++, all our files are going to be .txt text files, and so I'll show you once we create a file and save it, how you have to make sure it's not being saved as a .txt file. Otherwise, it won't work. We have to save our files with the extension .html. And basically, HTML is just a markup language that displays information on web pages in your browser. And the way you can do that off your computer is, first of all, go into Notepad and Notepad++ if you have it. And what we'll do is I clicked on File and then New, and that creates a new file. Get rid of this one. And what this will do is we can just type in some information like hello, comma, welcome to HTML. So now, if we go and save this file, and in Notepad++, what you can do is you can do run. You see this tab up here towards the right. Do run, and then click on run again. And I will open up, click on the three dots to browse my hard drive, see where the file is going to be placed, where it's going to be saved, and where it's going to be run. All right, so I clicked on the three dots. That opens File Explorer in Windows. And what I'll do is I will off my C drive. And what I will do is I will create a new folder. It's not responding. Sorry about that. Still waiting on it. I'm going to close this out. So all I want to do is create a folder for this class and then save the file as an HTML file inside that folder. All right, so I'll end the process. All right. I don't know what happened there. So close this out. And in Notepad, I just want to check one thing. All right, so in Notepad, I'm going to do welcome or hello. Welcome to HTML. And up here, how to run a module. Click on the three dots and open play. It works. All right, so now it's up and running. And I'll go here on my hard drive and I will find sorry, it's just taking a while. All right, so I'm going to create a new folder inside of this folder. Create a subfolder. There we go. I'm going to call this building simple HTML website. Hit enter. All right, then I'll go into that subfolder. And if you look down in the lower right-hand side above the open and cancel buttons, it says executable file. And what we want is, we want all files, okay? And what we're gonna do is, we're gonna save it. And I'm gonna call this, I'll call it simple HTML dot HTML. All right, you have to have the .html extension for HTML files. So I'll do open. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm messing it up here. All right, so I'm going to cancel that. But what I want to do is I want to save it. And what I have to do is I have to go into the folder that I want. Fast. And so I'm going to do this building a simple HTML website folder. I'll do that. I'll go back one. And executable, all files, open. For some reason, it's just not working. So I go here. Actually, what I'll do is, if you go cancel this, cancel the run, and do file, and do save as. Let's save the file first time. All right, and so once again, I'll do C. There we go. And let's see, online. And then I'll do building a simple website. All right, and now here, as the save as type cannot be normal test file. We don't want a test file. So scroll up, go to the top, and choose the all types option. And now you can save your file. And I'm going to call this simple HTML.html. Yeah. Right, simple HTML.html. Hit enter. There we go. Now, if I want to run this file, I click on run, then run. And now I can click the three dots and go and find that file. Down here in the lower right hand side, you have to change executable file to all files. And for some reason it's not up there. On your program, I don't know where it went. Because it should be displaying right there. I cancel that out. If I come down here to and open up File Explorer, all right. So I'll open up File Explorer. And we're going to be running our files in Chrome, the web browser Chrome. I prefer that over a Firefox or Internet Explorer or Safari. I just have to bring up File Explorer. There it is. All right, so I'm going to go into my beginner file, Library Online, building a simple HTML website, but for some reason the folder is not there. Oh, here it is. That's what happened. So I have to move that up to building a simple HTML website. All right, so now it should be there. There we go. Okay. So that was my problem. I put the file in the wrong class. All right, so now in Notepad++, if we go run and then click run again, now if I do the 3 dots, I'll go in the building simple HTML web page. You have to change executable file in the lower right hand side to all files, and there's my simple HTML page. Fast, if I run it, there it is. And there we go. Whew. Sorry that took so long. That's ridiculous. I put the file in the wrong folder. And so this is how you run files off your computer inside a web browser. So let's just review what we did. Okay, so we opened up Notepad++. We clicked on File and then New File. That created a new session in Notepad++. And all I did was type in the text, hello, comma, welcome to beginner HTML. Then I went and saved the file. So I did a file, I did save as, and I saved the file. That opens up in Windows File Explorer. And then I created a folder called Building a Simple HTML Website. And so if I open that up, and when I save the file, you just have to change the save as type to all types. All types, very first option on the drop down list. And then I named it simple HTML dot HTML. And that's what this file is right here. Now, my files automatically get set to open up in Chrome. Yours might open up in Firefox or Internet Explorer, but you can open them up anywhere. And so once I did the save, then in Notepad++, you can click on Run and then Run again. And here the file came into opened up right into this window here. And if I click Run again, it then runs and it opens up a web browser session in Chrome, and it opens up the file in Chrome. So it's loading it right now, and if you leave the address up here, it's C:, so my hard drive / and then it's got folder, subfolder, and it finally gets to the file name at the very end, which is simple HTML.html. And see here, it displays the text that we had typed into our program. Hello, comma, welcome to beginner HTML. All right, so there we are. Now, so that's how you run your files. That's how you, we're using Notepad++. We're going to edit and create our programs in that text editor. And that's how you save your file and then run your file. And it'll open up into a web browser where we can view to see if our program's doing what we wanted. Okay, so the first, so let's say there's some basic tags in HTML. All right, so we go back into our Notepad session. And let's see what I can do here. So this, if I go, see if I can move this around. There we go. All right, so here is my browser session, right? I'll put them side by side so we can see as we're coding what happens. All right, and see if I can get rid of this. Let's put it up there. All right. And I'll set my browser session over a little bit. Some more space. All right. Well, okay. So let's get rid of this stuff. And let's begin with the template of HTML. All right. So the first line you're going to start with is your doc type tag. All right. So in the very first line of your HTML program, you want to now tags are created by doing a less than sign with the tag name inside, and then a greater than sign. So I got a less than sign, and then it's exclamation point, capital DOC, TYPE, space, and then the type is HTML. All right, hit enter. The next lines are going to be an opening HTML tag and a closing HTML tag. And so the opening is HTML. And then we had a bunch of lines. Everything's going to go inside, in between this HTML, opening HTML tag and a closing HTML tag. And the way to do a closing tag is less than sign, and then a /, and then the tag name. All right. So the opening tag doesn't have a / like this HTML tag up here, and the closing tag has a / before the tag name. All right. So that's HTML. Next, there's two sections in HTML. Every HTML page has two sections. The first section is the head section, and the next section is the body section. And I always explain the sections as the information that goes into the head section is information about the HTML file. Things like, well, what I'll do is in between the HTML tags, we'll do the head tag. And I'll do a few lines down below, and then a closing head tag. All right, so that's one section. And then down here, we're going to do a body tag. That's the other section. Bunch of lines, body. So I'll do a closing body tag. All right, so now we have our two sections, and I'll get rid of these spaces up here. And HTML, come right there. All right, so that looks good. All right, so we're forming the basic template of every HTML page. All right. All right, so inside the head, one thing I put is the title tag. Right, so I have an opening title tag and a closing title tag. I put this on the same line. And then in between the title tags, we're going to have our title. All right, so what do we call it? Beginner HTML website. All right. So that's how you do the title tag. And this tag will be displayed. Now remember, we're in the head section, so it's information about the file and about the web page. And this title, beginner HTML website, will be displayed in the tab when I run it. So all I have to do is save my file because I've already saved it. All right, so I've saved it once. All right. Let me just do a file save as. For some reason, it's having a hard time. So I'll replace it. All right. So now, once I have it saved, I can come over here to my browser session, all you have to do is refresh it. You don't have to go through, once you have your HTML file saved, you don't have to run it again. And if I come over to this browser session, I should be able to refresh it. And now, remember, we removed the text, welcome to beginner HTML. But up here, now we have in the tab, we have beginner, capital HTML, website. And that is the title. The title comes up to the tab in your browser session, right? Because it's information, what's in the head section is information about the web page, about the file. All right, so another thing we might want to put into our head section are a meta tag. All right, so if you do opening meta tag, meta tags are just opening tags. Like there is no closing tag associated with meta tags, and that's true with a bunch of the tags. So, most have closing tags, but there are several tags in HTML that only have an opening tag. All right, so there's our opening meta tag, and inside opening tags can have attributes, and attributes only go in the opening tag. They don't go into a closing tag. So with meta, we're going to do the attribute char set, which stands for character set, equals double quotes, and then we're going to use UTF-8. All right, so that's our basic character set that we're going to be using on this web page. All right. The next meta tag that all websites are going to want is a viewport tag. It's another meta tag. And so we'll do an opening meta space there. And now this meta tag is going to have it's going to have two different attributes. The first one's going to be name equals double quotes, and we'll do viewport double quotes space, and then we'll do content equals double quotes. We'll do width. As you see in Notepad++, IntelliSense comes up. So as I'm typing the word width, so WIDTH, it comes up in IntelliSense. You can just double click on that and it'll bring it up into your program. So width equals device dash width, comma, initial dash scale, initial dash scale equals 1, comma, shrink dash 2 dash, and then shrink dash 2 to fit equals no, equals no, double quotes, and that's it. All right, so that was pretty long. So this is a tag that you want so that your website, your web page will be responsive. And responsive simply means that there's so many different types of devices out there now. So you have desktops, you have laptops, you have iPads, you have phones, and they all have different screen sizes. So making your web pages responsive means it will respond based on type of device that's looking at your web page. All right, we've done the title tag, and now that's pretty much all we're going to put into our head tag for now. All right, so now we're going to work on the body section. And the body section of your HTML page is simply what is displayed on the web page. So the head section is the information about the web page and the file, HTML file, but the body section is information that gets actually placed on the web page. So it's all the stuff you're going to see on the web page. All right, so the first tab we're going to go over is the header tag. All right, so this is used all the time, and so we'll do H1, and that has an opening and closing tag. H1, oops, let's do a closing H1. All right, so H1 is, well, I'll show you. And then in between the opening H1 tag and the closing H1 tag, we're going to have text. All right, so you can put whatever you want. My first website. All right. Okay, so what I can do is I can save this, go over here to my browser session, and I'll refresh it. There you go. So that is an H1 tag, and you see I spelled website wrong. I'll go back here, add the E for website, save, and refresh. Now it is on website. All right, so I can show you the different sizes of the heading tag. And the way I'll do that is I'll just pop them in here. One, two, three, four, 5, 6. All right. So the heading sizes are from 1 to 6, and 6 being the smallest font size, and 1 being the largest. Let's do this real fast. I guess I have an extra one. Get rid of this guy. And I have to do the same with the closing tags. Okay, and I'll get rid of this greater than sign. All right, I'll save it, I'll refresh it, and you can see the difference between an H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6 being pretty small. A lot of times you're going to use H1 or H2 for your headings so they stand out. All right, so those are your HTML H tags. All right, so what's next? Now let's look at the paragraph tag. All right, it's the paragraph tag is the P tag, P for paragraph. All right, so we'll do a opening P tag, and closing P tag, and then in between there's some basic information. I can just do letters, whatever. Right, that's my paragraph. Let's save it. Oops, I don't want to edit. I want to save. And I want to refresh. I want to refresh, sorry. I pressed stop share. All right, so the refresh button's right here. And you see the paragraph came out right here. All right, so now if I want a line break between paragraphs or information within the paragraph, right? Say your paragraph is take that. What else should I do? Say I want to break out to this first section, right? Why don't I just how about this? Sorry, messed that up pretty good. All right, let's go back. All right, so you got the p tag, and you got your closing p tag, and I'm just gonna type in a whole bunch of junk. Welcome to yeah, libraries beginner HTML class. All ages. All right, so if I save that and refresh, I'm going to do that again. Refresh. Must have done something wrong. Closing p tag. Oh, I don't have the greater than sign for the opening p tag. Right, save it and there we go. All right, so we have 2 lines of for our first paragraph. All right. So if I want to do now, I want to talk about the break tag. All right. So break is the name of the tag is BR for break. And so if I wanted to break right after libraries, then I would do a BR tag. All right. So if I save that, it'll break and go to the next line. All right. So welcome to Clifton Park Cameron Libraries. That's what I have here. Then I do a break. And then it goes to the next line, beginner HTML class on YouTube for people of all ages. All right, so that should be our tag. Now let's just quickly go over some of the style tags in HTML. All right, so if I want to make something bold, how about I want to make Clifton Park Half Moon bold. All right, so bold is a B tag in HTML. So I'll do a B, opening B tag, and then I'll do a closing B tag where I want it to go to be bold up to. So if I do a B and I save it, refresh it, now Clifton Park Half Moon is in bold. Next one, if I want to do italics, say I want to do beginner HTML in italics, then Italics in HTML is an I tag. I'll do I in front of beginner, and then I'll do a closing I tag after HTML. I'll save it, I'll refresh it, and now beginner HTML, if you look in the browser session, is in italics. Underline is another one that is very helpful. So say I wanted to underline beginner HTML and have it italics. All you have to do is just put underline is UL, or just U, sorry. So beginner U, and then I'll do a beginner, a closing U tag after the closing italics tag. Save it, refresh it, and now beginner HTML is in italics. It's also underlined. All right, so yeah, the bold tag, the B tag, the italics tag, the I tag, and the U tag for underlining. Now sometimes you want like a horizontal line. All right, so there's an HR tag for horizontal rule. All right, so maybe I want to separate my H tags here, 1 through 6, with my paragraph tag. So what you can do is, and horizontal rule is just an opening tag, no closing tag. All right, so HR, save it, refresh it. There you go. You got your horizontal rule. All right. Now this is pretty important. The anchor tag. So say you wanted to link out, right? Say I want to link out somewhere. All right, so I'm going to copy my paragraph here. And I'll just paste it here. And say, I want to do, please register with the library. All right. So, and say we want to link out. We want to link out on the word register. So what we do here is we do an opening A tag for anchor, and we do a closing A tag around the word that we want to highlight and be able to link from. All right, save it. Now nothing's highlighting here, but that's because we have to add a couple of attributes to the opening A tag, and one of those attributes is going to be an href tag. It's going to equal, so href equals double quotes, and what I'll do is I'll go out to the internet and I will find the library page. So if you do Clifton Park Library, I can see that I can find the main page, right? It's the Park Hamlin Library. So it's cphlibrary.org, HTTPS. All right, so I'll save this address. And what I'll do is I'll do href equals, so back over here, double quotes, and then I'll paste in https://cphlibrary.org, and then I'll end it with a double quote. All right, and then another thing we want is let's say that should be all we need. So we'll do a file save. I can get rid of library, and I'll go back to my browser. I'll refresh it. All right, see now, once I assign the href attribute to the A tag, now it's the word register is in blue and it's underlined. And if I click on it, it's going to take me to the HTML website. There we go. cphlibrary.org. All right. All right, so I can go back here, go back to my browser. All right. So another attribute you might want to add to your website is it's the target attribute, and this controls if the link that you click will open in the same page, or open in a new page, or a tab in your browser. By default, we want it to open the link in the same page. If you want the link to open in a new page, you set target to _blank. All right, so depending on where you want, the default is when I click on the link that it will open up right in my right in the browser session I'm on. It won't open up a new browser session. But if you want it to open up in a brand new session, a new page, then you simply go target equals double quotes _blank double quotes. All right. So if I save this, refresh it, refresh. Now, if I click on the word register, it's going to open up a brand new browser session. Let's see, it does. And we'll go to the home page of the Clifton Park Chapman Library. All right. So back here was my my previous browser session, and then it opened up into a new session here. So I'll close that out. All right. So what if you want images? All right, so say you want an image. All right, so I'll show you with the image tag. So in your program, all right, so it's an image tag, and what you have to do is you have to add the attribute source src equals double quotes, and what we'll do is we'll just do CPS colon. So whatever images, if you just download them, if you download your image into the same folder that your HTML file is in, then all you have to do is you don't even have to type out the URL. You can just type out the image name. So it might be image dot like JPG, right? And so if that image is living inside your the same folder as your HTML page, then it'll pop right up. But I don't have an image out in my folder, so I'll just use this basic one, https://via.placeholder.com/600 times 300 dot JPG, double quotes, and let's see what happens there. All right, so I'll save it, refresh it, and there it is. 600 pixels by 300 pixel image, right? And you can place whatever image you want to call up. You can just grab, and you can just get the whole URL address, or you can, like I said, you can download files directly into the folder that you're working on, and just reference the image file name. All right, so images, very handy. All right, let's talk about lists. And we have two types of lists. We have an unordered list and an ordered list. Unordered will be like, will display the information by bullets, with bullets. Ordered will display it with like number 1, 2, 3, whatever. All right, so unordered is UL, unordered list. And we'll do closing UL. Right, and then next. Okay, so inside the UL tags, we're going to do a LI tag for list item. So I don't know, I have a groceries bread and closing LI. And I'm just going to copy this. So we have a list of a few things. And so the bread, butter. I should do something else, I don't know. And I'll do, and use. All right. Okay, let's save it, refresh it. You see down here that we have our ordered list. All right, we got bread, milk, and cookies. And what if we wanted to? What if we wanted to have an ordered list now? So what I'm going to do is just copy this, and I will paste it down below. And instead of UL, we're going to do OL for ordered list, and the OL closing tag. And let's refresh it. Now this should be, the ordered list will list bread as 1, milk as 2, and cookies as 3. Refresh it, scroll down. So we have, down here we have unordered list with bullets, and we have the ordered list with numbers. All right, so those are your lists. Now let's talk about tables. So a table, you are going to start with the table tag. So I have table, TABL, hit enter a few times, and then we have the closing table tag, go inside the table. And first we're going to have our TH tags. Actually, we're going to have table row. So TR tag. All right. And then I'll enter a few times. So we'll do a closing TR tag. All right. So this will be the first row in our table. And inside of it, I'm going to put TH tag. All right. And we'll give it a heading. We're going to call it month. And we'll do the closing TR tag. All right. Or TH tag, sorry. That would mess things up pretty good. All right, so our first heading in our first row will be month. And then I'll just copy this. I'll give it a couple more headings. Okay, month. All right. We'll do rent. And then we'll do utilities. So we have 3 headings. That's our first row. Okay. Now, we're going to have, I'm going to copy this out. Well, actually, I'll just do it again. All right, so the next row, right, you have TR and times closing TR. And inside of this second row is going to be the TD tag for table data. So TD. And then, all right, so let's do January /TD. And I'll copy that. So January is for the month. The rent is going to be a dollar amount. Let's say 745. And next is utilities. And let's say that is a 7. All right. And let's do a couple more months of data. I'll just copy this whole block. All right, so we'll do another row. Let's do the next month will be February. Rent is still 745. Utilities for February went way up to 127. And then our third row is going to be March and 745, and then utilities came back down to 102. All right, so that is our table. And let me save it. So with tables, you have table tag, opening table tag, closing table tag. Inside, you're going to have, for each row, you're going to have an opening TR tag for table row, closing TR tag for the TR. And then inside your first row, you want to have the table heading, so TH tags you're using. And then for your other rows besides the first row, you're going to have TD tags for table data. All right, those are the basic tags when you are creating a table. So once again, I'll save it, I'll refresh it. And if you look down here, we have month. month, rent, utilities, and we have our 3 rows of data, January, February, March, with the rent amounts and utility amounts. Now, how do we make our table have style? One way is by giving the opening table tag an attribute, a border. So what we want is the border equals double quotes, and we'll give it double quote 1, meaning a 1 pixel border space, and then we'll do cell padding equals double quotes. Let's give it 10 pixels, double quotes, and then last attribute, cell spacing, sense. Oops. Sorry. All right. So the last one is cell spacing equals double quotes 0. All right, so 0 cell spacing. So the padding controls the amount of extra space inside each table cell, from the text to the border. And cell spacing controls the amount of space between cells. And so we don't want any spacing in this case. It just looks neater not having cell spacing. So refresh it. And you see the border is 1 pixel wide, and that surrounded the whole table. And then we had cell padding, which does some spacing around the text inside each cell. So it pads it from the borders to the actual text. So one thing you need to make sure of is to have the same number of columns in every row in the table. All right, so you can see we have three columns, and we had to have for each row. So we had to have 3 sets of TD tags for each row. Otherwise, things get all out of sync and they look pretty terrible. All right. And there's other things you can do also. You can give more style to your table, and make it look even more attractive. But these are the basic things of every HTML web page. And I hope you've enjoyed the class. Once again, my name is Scott Bartow, and this class was offered to you by the Clifton Park Halfman Library. And I hope you join me again with other future classes that will be coming up in the next few months. So thanks again for joining me. This has been building a simple HTML website, and I hope you were able to get something out of the class. Thank you.